Hey Jim, come over here. You want to remaster The Last of Us? Sir, we already did that. Well, we can do it again, right? We got spare time. My weekend's free. Well, sir, actually, I've been thinking since we have the time, how about we remaster a game that really we haven't touched in years, like the Sly Cooper games. I'm pretty sure there are people who would really love to see this come. No. If you want to play an old game that you don't already own, then you either need to buy it used or emulate it. And both of those options have their shortcomings, to say the least. That's why it feels so good when you see companies re-release their older titles for newer generations to try out. But unfortunately, there is an issue. For every one game that gets remastered, at least 50 others just get left in the dust. It's really sad to see a lot of great games just get left behind for a variety of reasons. That's why I want to talk about a couple games that I feel are far overdue for a remaster or re-release of any kind.
I'm a number one!
Man, what the hell? 2015 was 10 years ago and we still don't have hoverboards. Oh well. At least I always have you, old friend. I wish they still made Sonic Riders games. Not that the new racing games are bad or anything, but they just feel more generic in comparison. The decision to go with hoverboards instead of carts gave the game its own identity, not just aesthetically, but mechanically as well. The air gauge, the trick system, and less reliance on items makes the game more skill-based than any other kart game I've seen and played. I can kinda understand why they changed course though. The Riders games weren't the most well-received. It's not for everyone obviously, but for those who can get into it, will find a lot to love. It's kind of sad to see a game released for Sonic's 15th anniversary just get ignored altogether. We haven't gotten a new Riders game in 15 years, and I don't think we'll see another one anytime soon. I know it's nostalgia talking, but there is a part of me that hopes that the Sonic Riders franchise will come back in some way, shape, or form. Because a world without Sonic Riders just feels so empty, meaningless, pointless, stupid, absurd, foolish, irrational, senseless, unreasonable, trivial.
Stop! I get it, okay?
There's 1 + 1 = 6.
Licensing and copyright is a bitch, ain't it? It's a big reason why a lot of games get delisted. A lot of great games get left behind because of this, and the two I want to talk about right now are some of the best. Transformers War for Cybertron and Transformers Fall of Cybertron. I personally prefer Fall of Cybertron, but both games deserve some recognition. Getting to experience the war-torn Cybertron as both the Decepticons and the Autobots. Seeing with your own eyes how the lust for power can corrupt someone who was once considered a hero. How the fates of countless lives can be determined by just a single decision. How no matter what happens in a war, one shall stand and one shall fall. With a little humor sprinkled in there too.
I defeated the one adversary you couldn't.
Silence!
Hey! I'm still functional!
Idiot.
A variety of Cybertonians to play as, multiple weapons to mess around with, and a ton of hidden secrets in there as well. All packed into two games that honestly deserve more recognition than they get. If you're a Transformers fan and also happen to like third-person shooters, then I guarantee you that you'll love playing these games. And until the day they decide to bring these games back, just remember not to emulate them or anything. No, that's wrong.
I don't speak Italian.
It's kind of fascinating what seeing a color can do to a person's mind, invoking many feelings like hope, joy, rage, desire. In fact, I desire that. I desire whatever that color belongs to. What is that, by the way? Zoom out real quick. I stand by what I said. Wario Land Shake It is quite possibly one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. With beautiful hand-drawn animations and backgrounds that look good to this day. Like, this game could rival Hollow Knight. And that's just the cherry on top of a platformer game that plays just as chaotically and beautifully as its predecessors. And it's a shame that we haven't gotten a new Wario Land game since. Like, I like the Wario Ware series and all, but Wario Land is overdue for a new entry. It's not the only series ignored by Nintendo, of course, but with how many games come out that are very similar, if not directly inspired by them, including the Wario Land games, it's honestly just so sad. Keep making your voices heard, and hopefully one day the Wario Land series will come back, because after all, this series deserves far more respect than I'm sorry, what did you say? I wasn't paying attention. Before we get to the last one I want to talk about, I want to give a few quick honorable mentions. Pac Man World 2, the first game got a re-release, let's hope the second one does as well. Metroid Prime 2 and 3, the first game got a re-release, let's hope the other two get one as well. The Spongebob movie game. The movie isn't as relevant as it used to be, so I get why they haven't re-released it, but this is still a really good game. Sonic Unleashed. This game got a 60 FPS patch on Xbox Series S and X, but I think a much more wider release on other platforms would be appropriate. And last but not least, Kirby Air Ride. A really simple but really fun racing game for GameCube. City Trial is even better than Fortnite. I'm really sorry if you're offended by that, but it's just the truth. Live with it.
Go nuts.
A game loved by many with a cult following to this very day. It's a game that proved that licensed games don't have to be bad. The game that your parents bought you when you asked for GTA Vice City, but they were smart enough to actually see the ESRB rating. It's fucking Simpsons Hit and Run. I played this game so much when I was a kid, along with that pretty mid Crazy Taxi clone. It's not just a good GTA clone, it's not just a good Simpsons game, it's a good game in general. Packed to the brim with a lot of vehicles to explore Springfield with, amazing music to go along with it, great 3D graphics, and fun voice lines voiced by the cast themselves.
It's time to use my secret weapon. Remember when I told you I sold my old car so you could go to college?
Yeah?
It was a lie.
Yay, tough luck, Swarthmore.
It honestly makes me wonder with how much attention this game still gets to this day, that there is no remaster of any kind whatsoever. And I know for a fact that there is demand for one because there is a person out there right now making their own remastered mod as we speak. And yet the people who have the right to make Simpsons games just don't want to do it is just baffling. I'm just so sick of companies sitting on whatever property they own and doing nothing with it. People have been begging for sequels to games that haven't been made in decades for 4 decades. There are so many games out there that deserve another chance, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I want to remind everyone here that companies do not give a shit about you. They're only going to start caring when it affects them financially, so we need to start voting with our wallets and start buying games. I can't keep up with this charade anymore. This has been a whole trick. None of these games deserve remasters. I just wanted to tell you all the game that really deserves it. It's Blinks!
Blinks 2025, baby!
Also, I never played these games, but my friend wants to see more Godzilla games like the ones you see here. So, this one's for you, buddy.